In a world where love should nurture and protect, some stories remind us of the darkest depths of human nature. Today, we delve into the heart-wrenching tale of Isabela Mesa Sanchez, a young mother whose dreams were shattered in the most tragic way imaginable. Her story is one of hope, love, and ultimately a stark reminder of the shadows that lurk in what should be the safest of places, our relationships. As we journey through Isabela's life, her aspirations, and her untimely demise, I urge you to open your hearts and minds. This isn't just a story, it's a call to action, a plea for awareness, and a tribute to a life cut short.
Según los investigadores, Isabela tenía un niño de 3 años y, de acuerdo con testimonios de amigos y personas cercanas, buscaba construir una vida.
This chilling video captured the moment when the authorities were transporting the body of Isabela, a 19-year-old single mother. The beautiful and sweet young woman had traveled to meet who she believed was her true love, only to encounter pain and tragedy. Today, we delve into the heartbreaking case of Isabela Mesa Sanchez, exploring the footprints, traces, clues, and evidence that helped investigators solve the crime. Understanding the past of both the victim and the perpetrator is crucial in comprehending their behavior, all of which is documented in the criminal file. I'm Raven Bell, and I warmly welcome you to this channel. Before we dive into the video, remember to subscribe and hit the bell icon for notifications on new uploads. Don't forget to leave a like once you've finished watching. Now join me as we uncover all the details of this criminal case that unfolded in 2004. Isabela was born in Copacabana, a municipality nestled among the mountains of Antioquia in Colombia. Raised solely by her hard-working mother, Sandra Milena Mesa Sanchez, Isabela often found herself under the care of her grandmother, who played a vital role in her upbringing. The identity of her father remains a mystery, as he was absent throughout her childhood. Growing up in Medellin, the capital of Antioquia, Isabela lived there until she was 15 years old. Seeking better opportunities and a fresh start, her mother decided to move them to Mexico. Settling in the city of Leon around 2021, Isabela embarked on a new chapter in her life. At the age of 17, she became a mother to a child known as Maximiliano, or Maxi. Despite not yet being of legal age, she embraced motherhood with responsibility, love, and courage, even though her relationship with the father of her child was short-lived, ending soon after the birth of their son. The man's identity remains undisclosed to this day. Rumors suggest that he was a possessive individual, unable to handle Isabela's beauty and attention from others, leading to conflicts that ultimately led to their separation. Despite her youth, Isabela faced the challenges with strength and resilience. Following the end of this difficult relationship, Isabela was determined to create a better life for herself and her young son. She knew she needed to become financially independent to provide for her family. Isabela displayed remarkable determination and maturity. She immersed herself in the clothing and jewelry trade alongside her mother. Leveraging her stunning curvy figure and striking dark hair, she also delved into modeling. Juggling multiple responsibilities, she not only secured her livelihood but also strived for a brighter future for her son and fulfilled her family obligations. Those close to her attested that her work ethic and commitment epitomized her entrepreneurial spirit and resilience in the face of challenges. Described as exceptionally intelligent and cheerful, Isabella was known by her friends and family as a young woman with grand aspirations and a fierce drive to conquer the world. Her primary motivation was her son, for whom she toiled daily to pave the way for a life filled with opportunities. With numerous plans in mind, including opening a store with her mother, her ultimate dream was to purchase a house and establish a stable home for herself and her son. Amidst her aspirations, a new chapter unfolded in 2023. Love unexpectedly entered Isabella's life once more. She embarked on a long-distance relationship with Sebastian Villegas Cordoba, a 21-year-old professional soldier in the Colombian National Army who hailed from the same region of Antioquia as her. As fate would have it, they had crossed paths years earlier when Isabella was just 13 years old and still in high school, though they were merely acquaintances at the time. It was following Isabella's separation from her son's father, driven by his unwavering jealousy, that she reconnected with Sebastian online, sparking the beginning of their relationship. What initially appeared to be a promising romance brimming with shared dreams of a radiant future together soon spiraled into a nightmare. People close to Isabella began to notice that all the hardships she had faced with the father of her son, she was going through a similar ordeal with Sebastian. Sebastian, as it turned out, was extremely possessive and consumed by jealousy. Despite the physical distance between them, he exerted various forms of control over her. It all started with him forbidding her from communicating with the father of her son and demanding constant proof of her loyalty. As if that wasn't enough, he even asked for videos of her WhatsApp conversations. Sandra, Isabella's mother, witnessed numerous occasions where Sebastian's reaction to Isabella expressing her discomfort with his controlling behavior was unsettling. In subsequent interviews, Sandra mentioned how Sebastian would cry and seek forgiveness, attributing his actions to his insecurities. However, his behavior never improved. On the contrary, his jealousy and threats only escalated over time. There was a moment when Isabella even mentioned that she wouldn't hesitate to end her life if she found out she was talking to another man. In another alarming incident, Sebastian claimed to have taken the life of his best friend for allegedly stealing from him. Despite the gravity of his confession, Isabella dismissed it as an exaggeration, showcasing a stark contrast in their perceptions. Those around Isabella could clearly see that as the relationship progressed, Sebastian's behavior became increasingly disturbing and possessive, causing concern and highlighting his controlling and dangerous nature. However, Isabella was blinded by love and disregarded the advice of her loved ones. In mid-January 2024, the young woman traveled to Medellin to celebrate her birthday with her partner and make the most of his days off, and on the other hand, her lover had been serving in the military for the past 9 months. During this trip, Isabella's son remained in Mexico under the care of his grandmother. On January 16th, Sebastian took Isabella to his mother's house for the first time and sought her permission to stay at her residence in the 2 de Octubre commune of Medellin during their visit to the city. Sebastian's mother, whose identity remains undisclosed, graciously accepted, and the couple settled into one of the rooms in the house. Isabella, deeply in love, began contemplating the idea of permanently residing in Medellin to start a new life with her partner and son, despite warnings from her own mother, Sandra, who advised against it. On Saturday, January 27th, a group of Isabella's friends organized a party to celebrate her return to Colombia, The young woman attended with Sebastian, but the celebration took a sour turn when a conflict arose between the couple. The argument escalated, leading to a heated exchange. Witnesses reported that the dispute turned physical, with Sebastian behaving aggressively towards Isabella. According to those present, the argument stemmed from Sebastian owing money to various people, including his girlfriend. Following the bitter argument, the couple decided to leave the party. Little did anyone anticipate the tragedy that would unfold at the Villegas family residence. The dispute between Isabella and Sebastian persisted into the early hours of Sunday, January 28th, culminating in a violent outburst. Sebastian repeatedly attacked Isabella with a knife, inflicting fatal wounds. Despite her young age of 19, Isabella had a promising future ahead, one she had hoped to build with her young son eagerly awaiting her return in Mexico. After committing the heinous act, Sebastian carefully placed the young woman's body in the fetal position, tied her up, and concealed her inside a suitcase. Sebastian's mother, who had left early for Mass and was unaware of the unfolding events, returned home in the afternoon. She was surprised to find her son cleaning the floor, which struck her as odd. It was then that Sebastian confessed to his mother that he had ended Isabella's life. Despite his confession, he refused to disclose the whereabouts of the body and prevented his mother from searching the house. Alarmed by the situation, Sebastian's mother informed her husband, and together they decided to visit the military base where their son was serving to report the incident to his superiors. Upon hearing the distressing news, the military promptly alerted the national police. The authorities rushed to Sebastian's residence, where they discovered Isabella's lifeless body hidden inside a suitcase. The crime scene was chilling, with bloodstains on the floor, walls, and even on a section of the mattress in the room where Sebastian had committed the gruesome act. Isabella's clothing was found stained with red marks, and her wallet containing personal documents was also recovered. The judicial investigation team, known as SCIEN, removed the body and transferred it to forensic medicine for further examination to determine the cause of death. Meanwhile, Sebastian was not present when the authorities arrived at his home. However, on the night of Monday the 29th, he surrendered himself at a police station in the municipality of Bello and was taken into custody by the prosecutor's office as the investigation unfolded. Following a preliminary autopsy of Isabella's body, the severity of the attack became evident. The examination revealed that the young woman had succumbed to a total of 24 stab wounds inflicted in various areas of her body. Specifically, there were 8 sharp wounds in the neck region, 7 in the left breast area, 6 on the left forearm, and 3 on the left side of the abdomen. The autopsy also indicated defensive wounds on the victim's forearm, suggesting that Isabella had fought to protect herself during the brutal assault by the man who professed to love her deeply. It is worth noting that there are discrepancies in the reports of the incident. While some media outlets claim that Sebastian's mother discovered Isabella's body, the version presented here is based on the prosecutor's account during the legal proceedings. The tragic and unjust demise of the young girl, whom her mother and son were eagerly awaiting in Mexico, has deeply shaken the community. Federico Gutierrez, the mayor of Medellin, assured that all necessary measures were being taken to prevent such cases from going unpunished. He expressed a strong commitment to ensuring that justice prevails, emphasizing the gravity of the crime and the urgent need to protect women from gender violence. The mayor empathized with the pain and sorrow caused by such aggressive incidents and urged for the care and protection of the female population. He stressed the importance of implementing effective measures against this scourge that has tragically claimed the lives of many women, ensuring that the victims receive the justice they deserve. Meanwhile, as the authorities made progress in the legal proceedings, Isabella's loved ones grappled with her sudden departure and the circumstances surrounding her tragic fate. In a revealing interview, Sandra disclosed that it was Sebastian's own mother who took the responsibility of informing Sandra about the heartbreaking loss of her daughter. Despite the immense difficulty of the situation, Sebastian's mother, having not witnessed any prior violent behavior from her son, displayed remarkable strength as she handed him over to the authorities, believing it was the right thing to do for someone whom Isabella cared for deeply. Shocked by the unfolding events, Sandra expressed her disbelief at the heinous act committed by the son of a woman who had clearly instilled him with different values. It was evident that Sebastian's mother, by not only reporting the incident but also reaching out personally, sought justice for Isabella, as it was the only thing she desired in the face of such irreparable loss. Sandra struggled to comprehend how someone capable of such an atrocity could emerge from the nurturing care of a mother known for her virtues. The tension escalated during Isabella's wake when Sebastian managed to send a message to Sandra. Sandra expressed her indignation at this, pointing out that Sebastian hadn't even asked for forgiveness. Instead, he simply sent an apology, justifying his actions with the unusual argument that he had been in love like a madman. Sandra couldn't understand Sebastian's actions, and his apparent lack of remorse only intensified the bitterness and anguish felt by those affected by his terrible crime. On Wednesday, January 31st, 3 days after Isabella's death, friends and family gathered to bid her a final farewell with endearing messages and lively music. They aimed to celebrate her life rather than mourn her death. The funeral services took place in the afternoon at the Gardens of Faith in Copacabana, the place where Isabella was born and raised. During the wake, residents of the 2 de October commune, where the tragedy occurred, came together to express their rejection of the crime and demand justice. The message of indignation was also echoed online. Isabella's best friend, Tatiana Velez, penned an emotional farewell message and shared her repudiation of the incident on social media. She revealed that she and Isabella had discussed femicides on numerous occasions and both feared finding themselves in such a situation. As the painful details surrounding Isabella's death emerged, her social media accounts were flooded with farewell messages alongside her last shared photos. Isabella was dressed in a green outfit, looking relaxed and smiling, just as she always did. The photos were often captioned with wishes of good luck in green tones. This post quickly went viral, garnering over 2,000 supportive responses. The comments overflowed with messages of pain and sadness over the tragic loss of the young woman. Meanwhile, the authorities swiftly and effectively pursued justice. The nation's Attorney General formally charged Sebastian with aggravated feminicide, a crime that could lead to a sentence ranging from 41 to 50 years in prison. The prosecutor overseeing the case vividly described the brutality and premeditation involved, emphasizing that Sebastian had a knife with him when he attacked his girlfriend. Additionally, he had strategically placed a suitcase in a sack nearby to conceal the body during the indictment hearing. Despite the overwhelming evidence, Sebastian adamantly denied his involvement in the attack, shocking many with his statement. It was later revealed that Sebastian had a prior criminal record, having been arrested in 2022 for the crime of reception, although he was not formally charged. The act of reception entails aiding individuals responsible for crimes against property or the socioeconomic order without necessarily participating in the criminal act. This revelation shed light on Sebastian's past and raised further questions about his character and motives in relation to the heinous crime he was accused of. The prosecution presented compelling evidence, including Sebastian's alleged confession to his mother. The hearing was adjourned until the following day, when the general prosecutor of Colombia announced that a security measure had been obtained against Sebastian in prison. Despite the defense's request for a home security measure being denied by the judge, citing potential community safety concerns, Sebastian remained in police custody awaiting transfer to a prison in February 2024. His attempted escape from the Bello police station in Antioquia further underscored the risks he posed. Fortunately, swift action by the police thwarted his escape attempt. After a lengthy legal process, on April 17, 2024, Sebastian eventually confessed to his crimes. This admission marked a significant turning point in the case. However, this recognition occurred within the framework of a prior agreement with the nation's Attorney General's office. This agreement would grant him certain terms of his sentence, as reported by the defense represented by lawyer Andres Artieda. Sebastian would receive a 25% reduction in his sentence as part of this judicial agreement. However, this pre-agreement generated considerable rejection among public opinion due to the seriousness of the crime and the perception that the consequences for the perpetrator might not be proportional to the crime committed. To dispel some of these concerns, it was clarified that Sebastian could not obtain further reductions in sentence or benefit from other privileges such as conditional freedom due to the atrocious nature of the crime he committed. It was also established that he would not have the possibility of serving his sentence under house arrest. Finally, on May 10th, a judge in Medellin handed down the final sentence for Sebastian Villegas Cordoba, sentencing him to 31 years and 3 months in prison for the aggravated femicide of Isabela Mesa Sanchez. This sentence marked the closing of a long and painful legal process, but also represented a step towards justice for the victim's family and loved ones. It serves as a reminder of the seriousness of gender violence and the importance of ensuring accountability for such atrocious acts. Isabela's case is not only an individual tragedy, but also a painful reality that many women face in Medellin and throughout the country. It hurts my heart a lot to see these acts happen. It truly makes us aware of what is happening in our society. Women, let's get out of toxic relationships. Men, let's respect life and stop violence. If a relationship is not good, then let's not be in it. Because bigger things can happen in your life because of one act of gender violence, leaving an irreparable void in her family and community. However, her memory and story serve as a call to action to combat violence in all its forms. Isabela obtained the justice for which her loved ones so acclaimed. The best way to honor her memory is to fight for a better and safer future. As her close and dear listener has said, that's it for today's case. As the final chapter of Isabela's story comes to a close, we're left with a mix of emotions, anger, sadness, and a burning desire for change. Isabella's life, though cut tragically short, continues to speak volumes. It reminds us of the urgent need to address domestic violence and femicide, to recognize the red flags in relationships, and to stand united against any form of abuse. Her story isn't just a statistic, it's a wake-up call for society. If this video has moved you, if it's opened your eyes or touched your heart, please don't let Isabella's story end here. Share this video with others who need to hear this message. Like and subscribe to our channel to support our mission of bringing these crucial stories to light. Your engagement helps us reach more people and potentially save lives.